Hi guys, welcome to Free CSS Course 2021. In this specific lesson, we will learn how to set up CSS by using basic and simple editor tools like Notepad and Visual Studio Code. After this lesson, you will be able to set up CSS in all tools available for CSS. So let's get started. Now let's start with the Notepad, and after that we will set up CSS in Visual Studio Code. Notepad is basically a text editor tool which almost available on all devices. We can also use Notepad for HTML, CSS and JavaScript code. So let's see how we can use it for CSS along with HTML. We will be also customizing the HTML web page by using CSS. Let's go to your desktop and right click on the mouse, go to New and open the text document. Now we have created an empty document. Let's give it a name web page and click enter. Now when we open it, you can see that it is empty. So what we have to do is to convert this file into web page. So go to file and click on the save as. So let the name as it is, and also we will be using HTML extension, so it will be converted into web page. So write .html beside the name. Now click save. And you can see that we have created web page. Now let's close this and delete this one. Now let's right click on the web page, go to open with, and once we will be opening it with Notepad. Now go again, open with, and open with the browser you want. Now as you can see that we have two files open, one is Notepad and one is web page. We will be coding here and see the result here. Now let me write simple code for HTML so we can customize it in CSS. So let's write here. It is a very simple code. What it will do is change the title, which is here, and also write a paragraph. This is a sample paragraph here. So let's save it and let's refresh this browser. Now you can see that this is sample paragraph and the title is also changed. Now we just want to learn how to set up CSS. So let's say we want to change the background of this text by using CSS. So for this, we will have to create another Notepad file. So let's minimize this and also this. Right click on the mouse and go to new, open the text document. Let's give it a name sample. Now click enter. Now open this, go to file, click on the save as, and here we will use extension .css. So it will create a CSS file. So let's click save. And you can see that we have created CSS file. Now let's close this and delete this one. Now let's open this and this is CSS file. Now we have to connect this CSS file with the web page. So let's close this and open this with Notepad. So in the head we will write link, type of file, which is style sheet, and file location, which is sample.css. Now let's save the file, and we have connected successfully the CSS file and web page. Now let's change the background in CSS file so you can see that in web page. So let's close this and open the sample file. So as you can see in HTML we have used paragraph. So for reference, we will use P and curly brackets, open and close. And inside this, we will write simple background color /color and hex code, which will be, let's say, this one. Now let's save it and let's close this file. And when we open the web page file, you will see that background is changed. By this way, we can use CSS for customization of HTML. And this is very simple. Another thing you have to know that it is external CSS. We can use inline CSS, internal CSS, and external CSS. The method we just did is external CSS. In upcoming videos, we will also learn inline and internal CSS. That's how we can use CSS for the customization of web page. Now next one is Visual Studio Code. If you have understood the Notepad, then it is very easy to set up CSS in Visual Studio Code. So let's start. First, if you haven't installed the Visual Studio Code, click on the link below and in the video you will learn how to set up Visual Studio Code for any language. Once you have installed the Visual Studio Code, let's open the Visual Studio Code and you will see a welcome screen. Now click on the open folder. Let's go to desktop and let's create a new one. Give it a name, web page. Click select folder. Now as you can see that we have created the folder. Now let's create HTML file and CSS file. Click on the new file and here enter the web page with .html extension. Now click enter. Now how simple is that? We have created HTML file. Now let's create a CSS file. Now for this write sample.css. Now click enter. Now we have created CSS file and HTML file. Let's close this. Now let me copy the HTML code. For simplicity, let's select all, Ctrl C and paste it here. Now let's save this file by Ctrl S. Now let's move on to CSS and here let's copy this code and paste it here. Also click on the Ctrl S. For upcoming lessons we will be using Visual Studio Code because it is very advanced and it has many features. So now we have saved this CSS file. We have to link the CSS file with the HTML and we will be using external type. So let's go to head and here write link. Also ref is sample.css. Also let's close this tag. Again Ctrl S, save. Now let's run our file. So for this go to terminal and here click on the run active file. So when you click on it, you will see that we have changed the background color of the paragraph by using CSS. So this is the simple setup about how to use CSS for HTML, and this is how we can set up CSS in Notepad and Visual Studio Code. After this, it will be very easy for you to set up CSS in other tools. That's it for today. If you have any questions about this lesson, feel free to ask and don't forget to subscribe. In the next lesson, we will learn different methods to use CSS with amazing examples. So see you in the next one.